Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Elyse Andrews and I make new videos every Tuesday talking about my post-grad stresses, successes, and creative endeavors. Today is one of those creative endeavors because we're having another studio vlog. So fun. It's Saturday, first of all. It is Saturday, and on the weekends, I've really started to enjoy spending more time reading and making art. So, I make art pretty much all the time, but I really like to focus on painting on Saturdays. So today I'm gonna just take you along with me. I'm gonna try and break down my day into like hour-long chunks of like working on paintings that I just want to get done. I have one from a photograph that I took. I have another commission that I kind of want to work on. I have another freelance project that's just graphic design. That's something separate. I have a lot of painting I want to do. I have like a self-portrait too. So anyway, I'm going to take you along with me as I do all of that. And then also I might have to make a quick run to Michael's because I need some more watercolor paper. Somehow I went through my entire supply, which I never thought was possible. So I might take you along with me on that journey. So anyway, so far this morning I've gone on a walk with my dogs and now I need to shower and kind of get ready for the day, maybe clean my room a little bit, and then I can start painting. So let's get into it. So first I decided to clean up my room and I got pretty distracted doing this. I probably spent over an hour on it, but it really needed to get done. So yeah, I just made my bed and tidied up here and there, and then I started folding the giant pile of laundry that had been accumulating over the past like 2 weeks. So, oops, I accidentally decided to spend time rearranging my room, but it looks pretty cute now. I kind of did, I put this stuff here. I kind of, set this up. And then here is where I have all of my like nail polish and stuff, and I moved my dresser here. I think it looks pretty good. Okay, well, so now it's 10:23. My room is finally clean. Maybe that's why it took me so long to get my room clean, because I knew that if I actually sat down to clean my room, then it would turn into this whole room redecoration. I really like it. Who knows how long it'll last because I love to rearrange my room. But yeah, so now I think I'm gonna shower and then start getting some paintings prepped. Right now I'm actually going to eat lunch. It's like 11:12. I really like eating an early lunch sometimes, especially if I want to get a lot done in the afternoon. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to spend several hours this afternoon. I'm going to do like 1 hour for each painting or task that I'm wanting to get done. And right now I'm actually setting up my palette to get started on painting. So, looks weird. There's this new palette that I got. Let me see if it has the name on it right here. It is the Masterson's Stay Wet Handy Palette. It is amazing. You have this palette paper that needs to soak for like 15 minutes in as hot water as you can get from the sink. And then you put it in here with the sponge that you get wet. And you basically are able to have your paint, like if it's acrylic or oil or gouache like I use, it keeps it completely wet for like several days. I think even for weeks you can keep it wet. So it's really cool. I really love it. And you can reuse the paper. And so they gave me 5 sheets of paper at first. And I'm just continuing to use it. I've only used one side of one piece of paper. I think today I'm probably gonna flip it over finally. But yeah, very satisfied with it, very happy. I would highly recommend it. It's wonderful. And now we go make lunch. So here's what lunch is gonna be. I ate this HEB ricotta and spinach tortellini last night for dinner, and I'm gonna eat it again. And we've got some delicious classico tomato sauce. Amazing. Also, it has spinach in it, so that's my vegetable, right? I don't need to make anything else. That's what I tell myself. So now I am setting the timer for 1 hour to get started on project number 1 for today, which is this painting. I don't know if you can see, I'll show you in a different clip. But it is a painting of myself that I'm planning that I did using, I just took this picture on Photo Booth just because I thought it looked interesting. And so, and I've been wanting to do a self-portrait with paint. I haven't really been painting a lot of people. I've been doing more pets lately. But yeah, I'm excited to get started on this, and I will start the clock now. Hello, so I wanted to take a quick moment to kind of walk you through how I'm setting everything up. I'm currently using kind of 2 different ways to set up my paper that I'm gonna be using. One is because it's a watercolor block, so I don't really have to do a lot of preparation, and the other one is when I'm using just plain watercolor paper and I have to tape it down. First of all, I also want to talk about the way that I get my images, my sketches onto the paper. For the first one that I'm going to talk about, the watercolor block, because I can't go underneath it and trace at all, I used a graphite transfer method. It's basically where you get like a 4B pencil, which is a lot softer and kind of a lot darker. You rub it against the back of the, let's see where I have it. You rub it on the back of the paper, and then you go through on the front and you trace with a harder graphite pencil, so like an HB pencil, and it helps transfer it on to the watercolor block or the paper you're using. And I like this method a lot, and I also have thoughts about tracing, and I am currently, well, first of all, I keep saying like, first of all, I am a big advocate for knowing how to draw. I think drawing is very important. It was my concentration and my art major in college. But right now in my life, I am trying to work on my skills in painting. I haven't really dedicated a lot of time to that in the past, and I feel confident in my drawing skills. But I also, whenever it comes to kind of planning the composition for my pieces, I kind of get stressed out when I'm doing a painting and things just aren't in the right place, and I can figure it out, but it just takes a lot more time. And so by employing this tracing method and this transfer method, I've been able to really create a lot more paintings and be more proud of the paintings that I'm making. And I will eventually like to incorporate my sketches into my drawings more, kind of, I guess. I don't know. There's this one painting that I'm working on where I did a sketch in my sketchbook, and I took a picture of that, or I scanned it in, and then I printed it out and then traced it. So I like it for transferring my sketches and also just transferring images that I took of art that I'm going to make. So yeah, I don't have an issue personally with this tracing method. I think you should learn how to draw, and I'm still practicing my drawing skills, but I think that this has allowed me a lot more freedom and enjoyment in learning painting. So the other method that I am using to get my drawings down, for these 2, I used real paper. I used just plain loose watercolor paper that I had with me, and I used my light box that I have. One of them was transferring a fun little sketch that I came up with of Lost Maples. It's kind of a cabin-y scene. And the other one is something that I traced from a photograph that I took. And I got those prepared and printed out and sized them correctly using Photoshop. And then I had it all transferred, and then I go in and I use a ruler and I basically draw the lines so it's even for where I'm going to put tape. And I do use blue tape, my fun, sweet blue tape that my mom got from the grocery store, because it's what I have right now. I know that it's not recommended for artists to use that, especially if you're going to be selling your work, but kind of like I touched on earlier, this work is just for me and learning and practicing. And so I'm not really too concerned if the blue tape lifts up the paper whenever I am finished with everything. It's not a big deal to me. Also, I can just use an X-Acto knife to slice it out, and it's kind of similar to when I would use brown paper tape for my watercolors. It's the more typical thing that you'll do when you're painting with watercolor paper. And I will link a good one in the description of this video. So let's get into the other stuff. Do you like my apron? So here are my 3 paintings that I'm doing for today. This one's the self-portrait. This one's one based off of a trip to to Lost Maples that I took. It's going to be kind of naturey. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but it's based off a sketch that I did a while ago. And then this is going to be this strange picture of my dog that I took a picture of it. It's really weird, but I like it. So I did go over my time that I set, but I got the basic layers of this done, or kind of the initial layers. I'll show you. So here she is for now. I really need to step aside though and start working on this freelance project that I really need to get done. So I will be forcing myself to pause, and I'm going to spend an hour on the freelance project. So I finally finished the freelance thing I've been putting off for a while. So now I think I'm gonna get back to painting for like another hour, and then maybe read, and then hopefully by that time it will be time for dinner. I mean, it's like 3 now. I eat early. This is just a fact. Yeah. More art, more reading. Here's the thing, we live, we learn, we paint for several hours, and then we hate the results, and it's fine. It's fun kind of whenever you get to a point where you're like, this is a lost cause. This is just terrible. And you can kind of have fun with it, and then sometimes you can save it. This could not be saved. I'm not even gonna give you a super close-up on it because I don't love it, but that's fine. I'm learning how to paint. I still am not very good at, I guess, getting the skin colors right. I mean, the reference picture that I used for this there weren't a lot of good shadows in it. So, and yeah, I'm not too upset with myself for having spent the time on this today. Like I said, I took a moment to think about what I learned, and what I learned is that I should probably blue underpaintings are fun for maybe like not a person. When you're painting a person, it's really, I was trying to get those warm tones in there, like that was really important in the face, and I just wasn't really able to accomplish that because I was already being held back by the blue underpainting. So that's something I learned, and then also to just take it easy on the black in the paintings, just not using a ton of black paint to make things darker, because sometimes it works, but sometimes it makes it a lot more gray and muddy, and it can just does not go well. So anyway, I'm glad that I did that. I don't really feel too bad about it, especially because it's the weekend. And also this wasn't like an episode of the Draw Pod where I was creating something and then it went downhill really quickly. But anyway, I learned a lot from painting today, and I'm gonna go eat dinner. And maybe I'll continue this into tomorrow so I can get more creating content for you.